but they're hardly deal breakers for most people. They are thus not as important to the bundle. Sports media companies know this. Live sports channels like ESPN charge disproportionately high carriage fees. Before the rise of streaming, pay TV was the only way for people to watch video entertainment at home. Until relatively recently, the majority of US households had a pay TV subscription. Of course, this all started to change throughout the 2010s with the rise of streaming services like Netflix. As high-speed internet became more widespread, it became possible for people to stream video at high resolution with minimal buffering. Interestingly, cable TV providers like Xfinity and Spectrum, who also supply broadband internet, played a key role in this transition. As they upgraded their infrastructure to support faster internet speeds, they inadvertently contributed to the decline of their own pay TV businesses, as customers increasingly opted for streaming services instead of traditional television. The ad-supported version of Netflix costs less than $10 per month, while pay TV packages cost upwards of $100. And for a lot of people, Netflix actually provides a superior viewing experience because it's on demand. You don't have to worry about missing your favorite show or wrangling with the DVR. If you add up the top 5 TV providers in the United States, they had 70 million subscribers in 2018. This represented 55% of American households. Over the past 6 years, they've lost significant market share to streamers. As of June of 2024, their aggregate subscriber count has fallen to 34 million, representing just 27% of US households. Even as pay TV slowly dies, the cable providers Spectrum and Xfinity will probably be fine. They will certainly see their revenue fall as customers cut the cord. But today, the majority of their revenue comes from internet services, which remains essential. Even if their pay TV business were to disappear entirely, their internet service businesses would be enough for them to continue as going concerns. For DirecTV and Dish, it's a different story. While Dish offers some satellite internet services, they only operate 11 satellites, so their internet capacity is very limited. For both Dish and DirecTV, the vast majority of their revenue comes from pay TV. Thus, the decline of pay TV poses an existential risk to their survival. While the pay TV industry has declined substantially in recent years, it's important to note that over a quarter of US households still subscribe to either cable or satellite television. Given the superior value proposition of streaming, why does anyone continue to pay for traditional TV? According to a recent survey, 40% of pay TV subscribers do so primarily to watch live sports, entertainment events, or news, content that is often unavailable on streaming platforms. Another 10% cite slow home internet speeds as a reason they stick with pay TV, though this figure is shrinking as high-speed internet becomes more widely available. We can see from these survey results that the main reason people still subscribe to pay TV is for live sports and news programming. Sports media and news companies are well aware of this and use this to their full advantage. As we discussed earlier, these channels charge carriage fees to pay TV providers based on the number of subscribers. As the subscriber base shrinks, the total carriage fees decrease. In an attempt to maintain their revenue, live news and sports channels have increased the fee per subscriber. In response, pay TV providers have raised the price of the bundle. In 2018, the average cost of a pay TV bundle was around $85. Today, that price has risen to over $100. While some diehard sports fans and news junkies are willing to pay these higher prices, the growing cost disparity makes cheaper streaming services increasingly appealing. This in turn drives more consumers to cancel their pay TV subscriptions, creating a vicious cycle where declining subscriber numbers leads to higher carriage fees and higher prices for those who remain. This cycle of price increases cannot last forever. Eventually, it'll become more cost-effective for consumers to subscribe to sports-focused streaming services like Fubo TV. The senior leadership of both Dish and DirecTV can see the writing on the wall. On the current trajectory, both companies will slowly die. That's why they're trying to shake things up by merging together. So what exactly is the rationale for this merger? What do they hope to achieve? To understand this, we need to understand a little bit about the history of the two companies. We'll start off with DirecTV. They used to be owned by the telecom giant AT&T. At the time, AT&T also owned Warner Media. They tried to do various cross-promotions and bundling of DirecTV and their wireless phone service. These cross-promotions yielded underwhelming results. Most analysts viewed AT&T's acquisition of DirecTV as a mistake. In 2021, they spun off DirecTV as an independent company and sold a minority stake to a private equity firm called TPG. It did not appear that TPG had any grand plans for DirecTV. They acquired their stake at a very low valuation. They probably plan to let the business die slowly and extract whatever profits they can in the meantime. Dish has a significantly more complicated history. Dish was founded all the way back in the 1990s by Charlie Ergen and a satellite company, EchoStar. Dish was spun off as an independent company in 2007, only to re-merge with EchoStar in 2023. Even when they were technically separate companies, Dish and EchoStar were both controlled by Charlie Ergen and always worked closely with each other, so it's simpler to just view them as one entity for now. To his credit, Ergen has foreseen the demise of satellite television for quite some time, so he's tried to diversify into the mobile wireless business. In 2020, Dish acquired the wireless service provider Boost Mobile. Since Dish did not own its own cell phone towers, they operated Boost Mobile as a mobile virtual network operator. This means they leased network access from major carriers like AT&T and T-Mobile, paying for the right to use their cell phone towers. There are a couple of major disadvantages to this approach. Firstly, AT&T and T-Mobile give priority to their own customers. During times of high network usage, Boost Mobile customers will be the first to experience degraded service. Because of this inferior service, mobile virtual network operators like Boost are obliged to offer cheaper prices to entice customers. Due to low revenue per customer and the high fees it needs to pay to AT&T and T-Mobile, Boost Mobile has long struggled with profitability. After acquiring Boost Mobile, Dish had grand ambitions to create their own nationwide 5G infrastructure. This way, Boost Mobile could be a proper wireless carrier and no longer need to piggyback off AT&T or T-Mobile. Building a nationwide 5G network from scratch is not cheap. Before you can even start building cell phone towers, you need to purchase the rights to wireless spectrum. Wireless signals are transmitted at various frequencies on the electromagnetic spectrum. To prevent different carriers from interfering with each other's signals, the FCC auctions off the rights to use various portions of the spectrum. Over the years, Dish has spent $30 billion to acquire wireless spectrum rights. They intend to use this to build out the 5G network for Boost Mobile. To fund their spectrum investments, Dish borrowed money, and a lot of it. They currently have $23 billion of debt, which accrues interest at a rate of $1 billion per year. The original idea was to use the profits from the satellite TV business to fund the interest expense. However, Dish's revenue has deteriorated faster than expected. In 2023, Dish's television business generated $11.6 billion of revenue, a 7.5% decline from the prior year. The segment generated $2.7 billion of operating profit. The retail wireless segment, which consists primarily of Boost Mobile, incurred an operating loss of more than $600 million. The hope is that once they finish building their 5G infrastructure, Boost will become profitable. But for now, it's losing money. Even having already bought the spectrum rights, Dish still needs to spend billions of dollars to build the cell phone towers and other related infrastructure. In 2023, they spent almost $2 billion deploying 5G infrastructure. Finally, they have a small satellite internet business which is losing money. Of all their segments, pay TV is the only one that's profitable. And now, the profits from pay TV are not enough to cover the cost of the 5G deployment. In 2023, Dish reported a consolidated operating loss of almost $300 million. Dish's financial situation is clearly not sustainable. They still need billions of dollars of additional capital to finish building their 5G network. Given their already heavy debt load, lenders would balk at lending them any more money. The company was running out of options.
Ja, een ontbijt met Campina kwark zit boordevol proteïne en is mild van smaak. Zo kun je er 's ochtends vol tegenaan.
Goedemorgen.
Zo, goed bezig.
Het is Leontien van Moorsel. Ga er ook vol tegenaan met een ontbijt met Campina kwark. Campina, voor een betere morgen.
Met ICS Specials hangt er veel voordeel in de lucht. Zo krijg je bijvoorbeeld speciale deals
So in September of 2024, Dish's parent company EchoStar agreed to sell its satellite television business to DirecTV. In exchange, DirecTV agreed to take on $9.75 billion of EchoStar's debt. EchoStar hopes that this debt reduction will give them the financial flexibility to complete the build-out of their 5G network for Boost Mobile. Following the deal, DirecTV will be the only major satellite television provider in the US, with almost 20 million subscribers. Here's a short clip of DirecTV CEO Bill Morrow explaining how the combined company can benefit from increased scale.
But equally as important, Caroline, is that the combined entity with just under 20 million subscribers will give us the very needed influence on the industry to work with the programmers to say the days of the past of 250 channels are gone. Yeah. Consumers don't want to pay for content that they are never going to watch, and the programmers are still kind of tied to those old carriage agreements. This influence is going to change that. It is in the interest of the consumers. We think it's in the interest of the programmers in the long run, and of course to our company as well.
One of the reasons pay TV is so expensive is because they offer so many channels. Part of this is due to the negotiating leverage of the media companies. Hypothetically, let's suppose that Paramount has 15 different channels. They go to DirecTV with an all or nothing deal. If you want any of our channels, you need to buy all of them and pay commensurately high carriage fees. Because of this, the pay TV operators are obliged to offer massive bundles with hundreds of channels. They pass this cost on to the consumer. That's why pay TV bundles.
Life to honor. They won't survive.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn.
On the ring.
Minions have spawned.
I never compromise. There's nowhere to hide. Don't cross me. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. Let's finish this quickly.
First blood. An enemy has been slain.
Let's life to honor. They won't survive. I never compromise. There's nowhere to hide.
Let me give you a hug.
Don't cross me. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. This is no challenge.
An ally has been slain.
Their bones will wet my blade.
Has been slain.
Let's finish this quickly. Only fools pledge life to honor. Another body.
An enemy has been slain.
They won't survive.
You have slain an enemy.
On the razor's edge. I never compromise.